Hop on over to Meijer for a happy Easter. We're serving up low prices on Easter favorites, like Meijer Spiral Sliced Ham for just 89 cents per pound. Limit 1. Choose fresh sides, rolls, and desserts, and save on treats and toys. This week, earn 3,000 points for every $30 you spend on toys with M-Perks. Get the same low prices no matter how you shop, and get more for your money at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Hello to you all. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show Podcast. Back at the normal starting time. Thank you for being here. I spoke with some people from a different country yesterday. That being New Jersey. The culture there is so different. New Jersey, New York. It's acting up today. And when it comes to my method of charming people over the phone, which I've detailed with you many times, that it's like a game. Whoever you're speaking to more than likely has had to put up with shit all day, and they expect to be treated poorly. So what I do is I try to be so accommodating and sweet as peaches that if the possibility were to arise, I could have sex with them. They would be so in love with me, so enamored, so smitten with me. I am. As great as I am doing what I'm doing right now, and as humble as I am, I'm even better when it comes to charms. It's a superpower. I had a witness, Diana. I'm on speakerphone driving down the road, and I have to make a reservation at the Liberty Marina RV Park in Jersey City, New Jersey. It's a parking lot. I've been going there for years. You take the RV, you park it in a parking lot, you plug the thing in, and then that's it. There's no other accommodations other than your 200 feet from a ferry that takes you to Manhattan. Those are the accommodations. And it's the most expensive cost for parking an RV in the entire nation. I'm not bullshitting you. You can go to a luxury RV park in Wyoming or Utah, and you're going to pay a third of what it costs at this place. But you get to see New York. You have no other options. So we usually drive over there once a year, see what's up, see the sights. This year is no exception. Upcoming trip. End of June, early July. Okay, this is peak season. This is you're getting a holiday charge. It's $190. That's an upcharge. It's normally $149. Please hold. And she actually said, she goes, please hold. I gotta get the phone. I go, no problem. And she sets it down, and then she picks up a second phone. Liberty Harbor RV. No, that's wrong, sir. No, you cannot. You will not. I'm sorry, sir. And so she's an ass kicker. sorry to make you hold, sir. I go, no problem. And then she continues to explain what's up. So it's more expensive, sir. Are you aware? I go, yeah. I go, yeah. No problem. No problem. She goes, okay. And I could sense a little bit of a thawing. Her tone is dropping a little bit. The intensity at the words flying out of her beautiful New Jersey mouth. Now, she sounds like she's like 85, but she's probably like 22. And Diana's cracking up. She's putting me on a hold for long periods of time to do other things. This whole thing, it should have taken like 2 minutes. Are you aware of our policies, sir? Yes. Oh, you've been here? Yes, many times. What's your name? And she, I give her my name. Oh, I see you. Okay, okay. I see you're at, and gives me my phone number. I go, yes. And she goes, oh, okay, darling. I got a darling. Now, that's darling throughout the rest of the United States. But when you speak the language, it's darling. Okay, I see you, darling. And your email is? Yes. Oh, okay, yes. All right, I see you. You've stayed here many times. We thank you for that, darling. No problem. Okay, what part of the park? It's not a park. It's a parking lot. What part of the park do you want to be in? I go, doesn't matter. Wherever you put me. And she goes, oh, I got we just redid an entire area of the park. I'm going to put you in here. I go, perfect. Are you towing anything, darling? I go, yes, we're going to tow a car. She goes, okay, this is perfect for you. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Diana is cracking up. Bob says, did you end the call with bless your heart? Now, look, you can't mix regions. That's a Southern thing. And besides, bless your heart, as we all know, is an insult. And I'm not here to pick a fight. You may notice, a side note, O'Neill's feet, his paws are moving in the air. He's having a dream. He's in REM sleep now. So try not to be distracted. Chris, who lives in New York, but Buffalo, New York, entirely different. It's a different freaking country. But no, I don't want to insult her. Again, I'm trying to, play my game. The Eric Zane phone heart eyes challenge. And I'm doing this in front of an audience. Diana, I want her to witness this. Conversation goes on a little longer, and I can tell she's really thawing. The chair is probably soaking wet at this point. And then as she winds down the call, she said the thing that put this one off the charts. The ovaries were popping on this chick. As she's wrapping up, I've never had this happen. The term of endearment that she referred to me, I got a darling, and then later on, I got a my love. Okay, my love. Okay, yes, all right, my love. And Diana, she actually put her hand over her mouth because she was laughing so much. As we're wrapping up the call, and then as she's hanging up, I swear to God on a stack of King James Bibles, she referred to me as Honey Muffin. Okay, Honey Muffin, we'll see you end of June. Honey Muffin? Oh, my God. I got a darling, my love, and a honey muffin. Amanda says this is not very professional. Well, you got to understand, this is a different part of the world. This is not Midwest or Great Lakes. It's entirely different. And the important thing to note is that even after getting Dolan, My Love, and Honey Muffin, if I even any way showed any type of disrespect to this giant of the tourism industry at Liberty Harbor RV Park, my God, she would have turned on me in an instant and told me to go fuck myself. We got it done. I'm very, very proud of that. Making that happen. Tyler says Eric is fluent in Jerseyese. It's a different dialect of English. Different dialect of English. I can't read today. I have witnessed several moments of Jersey mom in the wild. Never forget the Ocean County roller ice skating rink. I took Jack and Jim ice skating. Baby Madison was with me, under a year old, probably just a handful of months old. We go to the rink to skate. Diana was there too. She's hanging on to Madison. I'm out on the ice with Jack and Jim. They're skating away. Jackie disappears. What the fuck? Where is she? And then I start to panic. Some of you have heard this story before. This is old school. This is like 2002. I get off the ice. I'm walking on the carpeted surface. And there's all sorts of little rooms off the ice where people can have like get-togethers and parties. And there was actually a birthday party going on. And Jacqueline has engaged the kid who's having the birthday and made friends and is now part of these people's birthday party. And this is so Jackie. I'm like, what? And she's sitting at a table with all her new friends eating a piece of birthday cake with ice cream. She kind of blended in with these Jersey kids. And no one suspected there was an issue. Now, this sounds innocent and adorable. But apparently, we were being targeted when it was revealed what was happening, because I kind of approached the room and I go, hello, everyone. Sorry to bother. My little girl there has made friends with all of these wonderful children and is celebrating a birthday that she wasn't invited to. So I'm just going to corral her back and we'll say our goodbyes. And everyone went, okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, that's fantastic. That's just wonderful how children can just make friends so easily. We love that. Oh my God, us Jersey girls. Okay though, right? She can stay. It's not a big deal. They made friends. It's adorable. Thank you. But enjoy your time. We're gonna be on my way. Or we're going to be on our way. And Jackie's like, oh, come on, Dad. I go, nah, come on, honey. Let's go. We'll go get ice cream and we'll go get our own ice cream. How does that sound? Okay. Walks out of there. Little did I know, one crazy fucking hag was not pleased with this. All of those women who were like, oh, she can stay. It's not a big deal. No worries. Kids are kids. Kids are going to be kids. We love kids here. It's great. No problem. So all these moms wearing 99 pounds of makeup on their face look like fucking Christopher's girlfriend in The Sopranos. The fuck was her name again? Adriana. Christopher! Oh, Christopher! I'm wearing a wire. Remember that scene when Silvio shot her in the woods? Ugh. Spoiler alert. So then I gather up Madison, and we're back over in our little neck of the woods, the rink. And all of a sudden, I hear it. You always let your child just go to a birthday party she's not invited to and eat the cake? And I'm like, oh, no. It's a big one. And immediately, defenses go up. It's like one of those games you see on your phone when you're like walking through the thing and you got a little gun and then you hit the +5 and there's 5 more of you and you're shooting the bad guys. And then you hit the other thing and all of a sudden a big gun comes up and some of you know what I'm talking about. I just want to watch those videos. I love those videos. Like, don't make it end. And then you actually download the game. And it's not at all like that. Chris writes, "Sir, aren't you on the free beer and hot wings show?" No, it wasn't like that. Nobody knew us there. So I'm like, oh, fuck. Now, this is not at a stage in my life when I was calm. Very, very hyper. You see, 52-year-old Eric would have looked at this as an opportunity to turn the tide and actually make her moist. You know, somehow I would have attempted, if this were 52-year-old Eric, to resurrect that and turn it around and make her fall in love with me hopelessly. But not 31, 32-year-old Eric. No. Fuck you. And I don't remember exactly what I said, but there was nothing subtle or good about it. It was toe to toe, these two titans. And her husband he knows. I mean, I gave him a look. He gave me a look. And that look was, I'm like, your wife's crazy. And he's like, be careful. My wife is crazy. And he's like, come on, let's go. No, get your fucking hands off me. I want a word with him. No, you go over there. Go back to the party. I got this. Get your fucking hands off me. Who the fuck do you think you are bringing her? You think that's okay? And I'm like, ugh, dude. And so we go at it. I remember I was actually holding Madison at one point. Very, very little. Tyler says, did you tell her to go back to destroying the sidewalks in front of the Planet Fitness? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't get that joke. She tipped her glasses down. She tipped her glasses down and said, uh-huh. What do you think of this look? At one point, I went in my wallet and I had a couple dollar bills and I crumpled them up and I threw them right at her face. I go, here you go. This is for the pizza, bitch. Boom. We got the fuck out of there. Oh, my God. Those people. Some of them, you get like 100 of them in a room, 99 will be loving, and one is a psychopath. But you still got to be careful with the 99 because they'll turn on your ass. These are a finicky bunch of people. They don't like your shit, and if they suspect you're giving them any, case in point, look at Kate. That crazy bitch flipped on me in an instant. I'm doing my best just to control Laura. Laura loves me. She knows I'm sweet as peaches. But I don't ever want to betray her trust because she'll actually drive over here and put her foot actually into my asshole. So that's how my day was yesterday. Looking forward to the trip. Justin's never been to the 9/11 Museum. That place, tell you what, incredible. I had a conversation with Jacqueline. I think she realized how being a big girl is. This is one of those learning moments because we planned this trip. And, you can easily drive in one day, but I don't. I don't like driving long distances for many hours. And when you're driving that friggin' RV, it's slow. So the pace is just a snail's pace. I'm not kidding you, like 55, maybe 60. So I like to break it up over 2 days. So with all of it, with all the driving, Jackie only gets like 5 days for vacation. So the trip is going to be over 5 days, but she thinks it's 4. 2 days to get there, then the trip, and then 2 days to get back, plus the weekend. We leave on a Thursday, back on a Wednesday. She goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's all of my vacation. I go, how much vacation do you get? 5 days. I go, well, yeah, that's your vacation. Wonderful trip to New York City. Seeing a third of the country in an RV. You're going to see the greatest city in the world. You're going to see the sights. You're going to have a great time. And we're going to be together. That's a vacation. That's what we call vacation. Yeah, but that's all of my 5 days. I go, well, first of all, that's not a lot of vacation. It's because it's the first year at this job. And welcome to adulthood. A lot of Americans don't get 5 days paid vacation. Well, I had that 1 day. I go, well, big fucking deal. You had 1 day that you don't use. You were planning on not using. What the fuck are you going to do with 1 day's vacation? Nothing. She looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, what are you doing? I go, look, you want more vacation. This is what you do. You either wait or you start your own business and you leave whenever the fuck you want. Those are your options. Those are the only things you can do at this point in time. And she says to me, because I had her on the show this week, because I was trying to rattle her cage about the cell phone thing. She goes, you were intentionally trying to annoy me the other day on your show. I go, correct. You are getting it. You are figuring out what I have done to support this family since before you have been born. Since before you came to the earth, that has been my number one goal. Someone's getting the cage rattled at any point in time with zero notice to the benefit of anyone else witnessing it. That is commerce in the Eric Zane Show Podcast household. Aaron with the suggestion, take the NFK with you instead. Chris says, if you come through Buffalo, I'm getting you wings. Thank you. Chris says you got to visit tourist traps on the way. That's part of the adventure. The idea of bringing the NFK, I think he's in the other room, by the way, taking a shower. But did you know I don't have to give him showers anymore? That's his new thing. If I take the NFK, all he's going to do is do what he does here, there. Watch TV. So it's like, I don't know, man. Tyler says Jackie now knows how Kenny feels on most shows. LOL. No, I have not. Kenny doesn't get picked on ever anymore. I haven't said anything. I haven't even done a Kenny impression in months. That hasn't happened. That is completely false. Countdown till Kenny leaves a comment. 10, 9. There it is. I knew it. Read him like a book. Hey, that's a bunch of bullshit. I know you're lying there, motherfucker. Ow. Ooh. Ow. Stop it. I don't like falling for your traps. I'm not to be trifled with anymore. I've stomped my foot and I've counted to 10. Oh, my back. That's a new thing. Countdown to Kenny comment. Bum, bum, bum. All right. This show happens each and every day of the work week in the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker studio. Some of you are getting the show on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But I'm ending your show. If you want the rest of it, you must go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live to get it uninterrupted. Trying to get to 1,000 people following on Twitch. We're at about 970. I think we're at a point where it's really plateaued. It's all going to be a grind to build that number up. But if you're enjoying the show on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, just do this one thing for me. I don't even care if you do or don't. Well, no, I do care if you watch it, and I want you to watch it. I want you to listen to the show. I'm trying to encourage that in any way, shape, or form. Twitch.tv, TWITCH, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live on your laptop or desktop, or download the Twitch app and then search Eric Zane Live, all one word. Follow the page. Link your Amazon Prime account. Easy to do if you just kind of look around on there. You can figure some of this out for yourself. And then hit the subscribe button. Get the show minus the commercials that Amazon throws in because they own Twitch and they like to make money. Jeff Bezos wants your money. All right. And then send me an email when you want to chat on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Eric@ericzaneshow.com. Always love to hear from you. But I'm sending you on your way. Have a great rest of your day. Eric Zane for HelloFresh. You're going to save 60% plus free shipping. Pay attention. Here are the options for you. Take the family out to eat, and then you're bankrupt by the end of the month. That's out. Okay, I'm going to plan a bunch of meals. I'm going to do research, hours on end, go to the store, buy all this stuff. Somebody's going to crash into my car. I'm going to get home. Nobody's going to like it because I didn't do the recipe right. The instructions weren't clear. It goes to waste in the fridge. Blow even more money. And then everybody thinks you're a terrible preparer of meals. Or you can call upon America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh. I would just like you to try this. You know, I mean, we go way back, you and I. So just try this just once. Go to HelloFresh.com/Zane60, and then you'll use the code Zane60 for 60% off plus free shipping. So the box comes to your door after you make the various checks of what you like and how much food you actually want to get, and then let it play out. It comes to your door. The instructions are perfect. They're on individual cards. All of the portions are measured so that nothing goes to waste. You plate the food, you pass it along to the family at the table, and they're like, this is fantastic. I am not kidding you. It is a life game changer. HelloFresh. Again, you go to HelloFresh.com/Zane60 and use the code Zane60, and that's 60% off plus free shipping. Now, this offer does not last forever, so now is the perfect time. As I'm talking to you, log on, do it, sign up, and then get ready to have some fun and be admired by your family and friends. And make sure you tell me how it goes. Reach out to me on email or whatever. Scream at me when I'm running down the street and tell me that I was right, because I am right. HelloFresh is fantastic. I swear by it. I love these folks. HelloFresh.com/Zane60 and use the code Zane60 for 60% off plus free shipping. They didn't become America's #1 meal kit by doing anything other than being the best. Thank you, HelloFresh.
Surgeons keep our hearts beating. They do the amazing, help save lives, and so can you. Your CSL plasma donation can help create 24 critical life-saving medicines that can give Grandpa the chance for his heart to swell when he meets his new grandson, or give a bride the chance for her heart to skip a beat on her wedding day. Every plasma donation helps more than you know. Do the amazing. Help save lives. Donate today at your local CSL Plasma Center and be rewarded for your generosity.
Ugh, another pointless video call where nothing gets done. I think you're on mute, David.
Sorry. What did I miss?
IT just approved Miro for the whole company.
Miro? That's the...
Online whiteboard. For team collaboration. We can make these long video meetings so much shorter with Miro boards. We can share ideas, feedback, and updates on them whenever. Actually see what we're talking about.
It's all online.
Miro will make our flexible work setup so much easier. With one virtual space for our brainstorms, projects, presentations.
Oh, that sounds kind of amazing. So I don't need to wake up for 6 a.m. calls with the London office anymore.
Now you're getting it.
Don't let time zones get in the way of your team working well together. See why 99% of the Fortune 100 trust Miro to get good work done from anywhere. Get your first 3 boards free at Miro.com. That's MIRO.com.
Twitch and Facebook brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Twitter brought to you by Blue Frost IT. And, of course, YouTube. You can follow me there. Just search Eric Zane Show on YouTube. Facebook is at Eric Zane Fan Page. Twitter is at Eric Zane Show. Follow those pages. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will be on Who Are These Podcasts again this week. I'm recording tomorrow. And it's pretty fun because this is the 400th episode. The anniversary edition of Who Are These Podcasts. In fact, let me text Karl right now. Hey, ... Can I call you? I want to chat about the big 400 episode. I used to just blow in the call. But he gets annoyed. I forgot to ask yesterday. Kyle says Karl needs to go on Who Are These Zanes? Yeah, I've been meaning to do that. There's no question. That would be fun. So this is 400 episodes of this show. Wasn't there potentially an episode of Who Are These Podcasts that Eric was going to do where they roast Greg and Peter Brady's podcast? I think so. Some of that stuff is foggy in my brain. I forget. Stand by. So I've been waiting for what show we're going to roast. For the 400 episode. Karl sends me a text. He says, for show 400, I want you to pick the worst show that has been roasted on Who Are These Podcasts and roast it. And I immediately wrote back, free beer and hot wings, because they have been roasted on Who Are These Podcasts during not the most recent Jocktober, but the year before's Jocktober. And, I'm jaded. So obviously, the worst show is the free beer and hot wings show. So I am committing to that. And I am reviewing on my own here all of the things that I want to talk about on the world famous free beer and hot wing show. Now, the first time they were roasted, I was not a part of it. And I intentionally wanted to avoid that. But now I really want to do that. So that will be my offering to Who Are These Podcasts, the 400th episode. I'm glad to be asked, considering the fact that when I first heard that show, was driving on my way to Tennessee, I was like, this is fun. I like this show. Reached out to Karl. I love your show. I love your show. And then someone, I forgot what the guy's name is, who at the same time said, hey, this guy Eric Zane was talking about your show, and you should roast his ass. Fuck. Boy, did he. But that was the beginning of the friendship. You see? Eric Zane charms. And now we're best pals. Chris says, all right, so I listened to your 07 show that you posted. The calls that you answered were hilarious, and that's a big part of why the free beer Reddit hour sucks. He says the 07 FBHW on Patreon. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't post full free beer and hot wings shows on my Patreon. That would be like a some type of what do you call it? Copyright thing. I wouldn't just post entire uninterrupted shows from beginning to end on Patreon. Chris says the show that you posted this week, Eric Zane. Nah, I never did that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it and then just label it as something innocuous and let you figure it out on your own. I wouldn't do that. That's not, I wouldn't want to do that because, that's not fair and not right to just steal other people's property and post it to benefit yourself. Get people to sign up to your Patreon. That I wouldn't do that. Amanda writes, take a hint, dumbass. Kenny adds, uh-oh. Somebody's getting a phone call after the show. He's giddy. Oh, man, you're in big trouble, man. Yeah. Oh, funny, but my back hurts. Somebody's getting a phone call. All right. So I'm going to be reviewing that show. I'll bring Karl on at 9. Rick from TC Paintball will join us for Trigger Time at 9:30. We got a lot going on in this show. All right. You say you want a revolution. All right. Thank you for being part of this show. If you want to support the show, in addition, sign up for Patreon. Where, sometimes I just post stuff on there that's like, oh, my God, this is a great blast from the past. Could be anything. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. $5 or $10 a month is all it costs. I suggest try it out for just 1 month and see if I can win you over. In fact, sign up and then cancel it so that in the event that you don't like it, it won't renew on your ass and charge you again. You don't want that. But if you like it, sign up again for a year and I'll take 10% off. That's not so bad. I call it the Patreon 5 or 10 challenge. You're helping me for 1 month minimum. And then then you're aware. Hey, I challenged myself and it's great. Or I challenged myself and that's a biggest waste of money I doubt that's going to happen, though. I put a lot of heart and soul into that damn thing. In fact, today I'm posting the latest edition audio podcast of the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. The video went up on Wednesday. Tomorrow I've got another edition of Who Are These Zanes featuring the last of the college show. And then on to Labor Day 1995, Joe and the Poor Boy, live from Saginaw. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Thank you to Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider for this show. Now, if you in the business world, maybe you work from home, maybe you have your own business. If the tech that you have doesn't have anyone ready to service it, you're behind. If something goes south, and time is money. Reach out to my friends at Blue Frost IT, 616-200-8550. So if at your place of business you don't have a managed IT service provider already on the books, checking on your tech on a regular basis and ready to go at the moment that something bad happens, this is all going to take a lot of time to get going. You gotta get the ball rolling early with Blue Frost IT. Also, if you're getting set to upgrade your tech at your business, get a complimentary consultation about what it takes to upgrade. A lot of times people like me, we don't know what it is we need. We don't know what the problem is. And then people make the mistake of just going and buying things off the shelf. That never works out. Get a 30-minute complimentary consultation from Blue Frost IT. Sit down with the experts to help you every step of the way so you can worry about your business. 616-200-8550. Up until June 3rd, I am discussing the Dirty Donut Race. That is a bike race for people of all different skill levels. Coming up on June 3rd. Okay, you got 4 different races. You got a 10-mile beginner race. That starts at 9:15. Then there's a 22-mile race, a 41-mile race, and a 61-mile race. You're on gravel roads, so there's less chance you get murdered. It's great fun, especially if you're doing that 10-miler. Now, the point is to finish as fast as possible. To be eligible for awards, all donut-eating riders in the 10-mile beginner race must finish by 11 a.m. So every time you eat a donut at the donut stop, they take 5 minutes off of your time. So that's awesome. For the 10-mile beginner race, 16 and up, it's $29. 17 and up, $49. For 22, 41, and 61-mile races, day of, let's see, April, it's $80, $100 for a tandem team. May, it's $85, $105 tandem team. Day of, $90 individual, $110 tandem team. However, when you sign up, use the code ZANE23 coupon code and you'll save 10%. A portion of each registration will be donated to the Make-A-Wish program. Your registration includes entry to the race, custom race numbers, donuts, and refreshments at the donut stations, a beautiful finisher's medal for every participant, a chance at some of the most awesome winners' awards in cycling, food and refreshments after the race. Food for 10-mile racers must be purchased separately. Ha! Look at that. They're like, no, fuck you. You just went 10 miles and ate all my fucking donuts. All right. So you're going to have 750 riders there doing this damn thing. Okay, so now I had made, on the 10-miler, there's only one donut stop. So remember I said if you eat 10 donuts, you would take 50 minutes off your time. So, yeah, you're going to have to do it all at the one donut stop. Now, that might be tough. The 22-mile race, there's 2 donut stops. 41-mile race, 3. And also in the 61-mile race, 3 donut stop. Some of these people, none of you, will have a chance at winning the purse. There actually is prizes, cash prizes for podium performance in one of these races, the Sealy Auto Group 61-mile sprint race payoff. So this is awesome. Dan Frazier is the guy who runs this. He's in the audience on most days of this show. Former cop who is one of the most technologically inept people I've ever met in my entire life, and I just love him. He runs this thing. Side note, Kyle Ryan weighing in on the show, The Insane Asylum. He says, the show's awesome. I never knew some of those songs existed. It's exclusive to Patreon. By the way, I have your list. I just haven't yet incorporated it into an upcoming episode of The Insane Asylum. That's coming. Hello to Berlin Raceway. God, I got to make those tickets public. Berlin Raceway, the season starts not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, April 15th. That's the icebreaker. Now, I don't know the extended forecast, but fingers crossed that it'll be excellent weather. They know that the weather is a little bit of a turnoff for folks at the icebreaker, so they price the tickets accordingly. What you do if it happens to be like a little chilly, just bundle your ass up, pay the $5 to get in online, bring your cooler. You don't even need a cooler if it's cold. You just leave it. You just carry it in of your snacks, your sandwiches. So you don't have to pay for it if you don't want to. Your soft drinks, no glass, no booze. And that's it. Kids under 15 are free. Are you kidding me? If you got a family of 6, mom, dad, 4 kids, you can get away with taking the kids and mom for $10 if you're on a budget. That is awesome. If you do want to drink like Kyler likes to, the beers are cheap and cold. I love Berlin Raceway. All the details, berlinraceway.com. And I will see you this year at the races. This is what happens as we move on when kid lovers go to prison. I forgot who sent me this, but thank you. It might have been Sam the Jew. Wait a minute, before I get to that. Speaking of Sam the Jew, we're at a point where the 3 big holy type of times for Jews, Muslims, and Christians is happening as we speak. Passover, Easter, Ramadan. And the shit is hitting the fan in the Middle East. I guess a bunch of Muslims were in the mosque doing their thing. And then Israel realized that they were going to fuck some shit up. So they raided the place. And the Muslims had a stockpile of rocks and fireworks. That's why, I guess why it happened. I don't know. These people just fucking can't get along. It's absolute chaos. You got all these, you got three big factions, Muslims, Christians, Jews, right in the same sandbox. And they're all pissed off because they think that their way is right. It's like, oh, fuck. So the Jews go in kicking ass, armed to the teeth. The Muslims start throwing rocks at these fuckers and lighting off fireworks. And then the lights get cut out inside of the mosque, so all you see is the silhouette of Israeli soldiers beating the shit out of these Muslims. Oh. Meanwhile, the Christians, all the tourists are wandering around going, oh, this is such a wonderful place. And then, like, rockets start crashing down around them. Hamas is like, fuck you. Oatmeal's having another dream. And so then the Israelis, they launch the fucking fighter jets. Kaboom, kaboom, happy Easter. Here you go. Enjoy your Ramadan with a missile up your ass. I almost said a nickel up your ass. There were rumors that Israel was going to clear out the mosque and reclaim the Temple Mount. So the Muslims were ready for it. Yeah, man, it was like gangs in New York in there. Holy shit. Meanwhile, the Pope is back. I guess he was, things were bad for the Pope. He's in the hospital recently. I noticed the Pope has really been packing on the pounds. He's walking with a cane, and his energy seemed to be good. Big smile on his face. I don't know how. I mean, every time he turns around, he hears about another big patch of molestation to deal with. I just for once want to see the Pope like lose his shit and, declare that he's going to start kicking ass. Like a badass hardline Pope who basically just shows up to random spots in the globe and just starts firing people. Just grabbing collars right off their necks, saying, you're out, you're out. You love the taste of child, get out. That'll never happen. Today is Good Friday. This is, Holy Week. The whole week is yesterday was Holy Thursday, and the priest will wash feet and then kiss them. And anoint them with like oil or something like that. That's part of it. Part of the thing. I've seen that happen. Tyler says, speaking of the Pope, kind of. Has anyone seen the trailer for the film The Pope's Exorcist? Looks freaky as fuck. Just in time for Good Friday. Pope's Exorcist trailer. Yeah, it does look freaky, and it has a terrific actor in it, Russell Crowe.
With everyday low prices.
Whoops. It's just an incredible actor.
Whatever you do, you only do because God allows it.
What the?
Did he allow that?
I like how when the creepy things happen, Crow doesn't bat an eye. His character is like, yeah, whatever. Shut up.
Father Gabriele Amort. On the night of June 4th, you performed an exorcism.
That was not an exorcism. The majority of cases do not require an exorcism.
Notice that music? It's always the use of music that puts these off the charts. Creepy, freaky. Inspired by actual events.
By him to doctors and psychiatrists.
The other 2%.
So it says inspired by actual events of Father Gabriel Amorth. So whoever that is, you look him up, and you can get the real story of what's going on here.
I call it evil.
We have more questions for you, Father Amort.
You have a problem with me? You talk to my boss, the Pope.
Oh,
There is a case that needs your attention.
oh my God. That looks like something Sexy Voice Andrea would do on a Saturday night.
Bring me the priest.
I'm here to help, Julia.
Wrong priest!
Take caution. There are secrets buried there.
Is the Vatican sealed?
The church has fought against this demon before.
It's like one part Exorcist, one part like Indiana Jones. This looks great.
Vatican covered it up. We need to find out why.
And then they're talking about the church covered it up, and that happens all the time.
You've been played. You took the bait.
Whatever you do, you only do because God allows it.
Did he allow that? Imagine what could happen if the devil possessed the soul of the Pope's exorcist. Who will defend you?
My faith does not require defense.
Ah! That looks great. I don't know if I can handle it, though. You know? Shit. It's a little much. Aram says, now that I know it's a true story, I'll check it out. Well, it says it's based. I would start with looking the guy up, reading more about this priest. Kyle says this looks hilarious. Devil and God are funny fictional characters. Kyle never, ever missing and going by an opportunity to denounce Christianity or any type of religion. Linda says 58% Rotten Tomatoes so far. Lorraine says this one actually seems scary, unlike Smile Movie. I thought that was scary. Come on now. Let's bring in Karl from Who Are These Podcasts? Good morning.
Hey, morning. How you doing, buddy?
Not bad. You excited about your 400th episode?
I guess so. You know what, Eric? I'm really bad at celebrating milestones. Other people care, so I feel like I should. But, I mean, yeah, the 400, baby.
Oh, my God. How many years has it taken to get to 400?
Well, we used to do 52 shows a year because it was weekly. Now we're doing 2 per week. So we started this thing in February of 2016. That puts it at just over 7 years, right?
My God. You didn't. Okay, so when you launched this, that wasn't the goal. It just kind of happened, right?
Exactly, yes. Now, let me ask you, do you count the number of episodes that you've done on your show?
I do.
Okay, so where are you at right now?
I think it's just over 1,030.
Okay, so that's impressive.
Well, it's because of the frequency.
Well, what did you do for number 1,000?
Really nothing. I just
You're like me.
Yeah, I just kept it the same. I just kept it consistent. But but you're right. People do like it.
Well, and we're gonna pull out all the stops this weekend. I'm excited about it. I have you on, Trucker Andy. We have a special guest who's coming back to the show. Hasn't been on in a long time, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a little bit of a different format than we normally do. You're going to be bringing a show to review. Andy's going to bring one. I'm going to bring one. So we're going to do kind of a round robin thing. So it's going to be fun. We're mixing it up. It's going to be a good time for sure.
Oh yeah, it always is. I always have a great time doing it. It's always great fun. You guys are awesome. I know that you have planned the early fall. You're going to come back to Michigan at the Magic Bag, and we're going to get together again.
September 15th. Mark it on your calendars. It's a Friday night. The Wolverines are playing Saturday afternoon. That's why I picked Friday night. I didn't want to interfere with football plans for anyone. But yes, we're back at the Magic Bag. I love that venue.
Yeah, I know it. And people packed the house in the last one. So you're probably going to, I don't know if your tickets for that have gone on sale yet. Have they?
They have not.
Okay.
I got to get those on sale because we did sell out the last time. And I know people went there hoping to grab tickets at the door and they couldn't get in. And the one thing that I learned from that show is I need to let the staff know that it's not a rock show because they're all talking in the back by the bars. And people sitting in the back were complaining that people were talking loudly. I think it was mostly Mark Fellhauer.
Oh, yeah.
Either way.
Well, that's...
I need to let people know that this is a comedy show.
That goes without saying. Mark, he's Mark's trouble.
Yeah, he is. Him and Jim Bentley, I think, were screaming in the back during our show.
Oh, for God's sake. All right. So take me through it because it seems like as you get more and more popular... It stands to reason when a show gets more and more audience members, people look back on the quote-unquote golden days and they complain about this and complain about that. Does that ever, get into your ears or your head at all about what you do?
Oh, yeah, of course. So we have a subreddit, and people go on there and they talk about each episode, but they'll also put posts up there about just things in general about the show when you go on Reddit, writing, hey, this last episode was a lot of fun and I enjoyed it, isn't something a lot of people like to do. They want to go on there to complain and bitch. So
yeah.
I see all of the problems that are happening with the show and all the people who are, concerned about this and never going to listen again because of that. And there's a huge thread on our subreddit right now where a guy goes on and he says, that's it, I'm done. I've been supporting the show on Patreon for 3.5 years, but after this episode, I can no longer support it. I can no longer listen to it. And then the same person is in the thread about 60 times responding to people. And I love there's one comment in there. It's like, this isn't an airport. You have to announce your departure.
I've always loved that. When people say that, it makes me so happy because I've experienced what you are experiencing. To some degree, I still do, but I have somehow managed to tune out the noise and gotten used to just not looking at things. But Reddit is tough because you want people to talk about it. It's great when they do. But at the same time, fuck, man, that can be difficult.
Well, it can be. But you know what, Eric? I don't want to ever ignore it, and I'm not looking to ignore it. I read through the stuff. I read the feedback. I check my Twitter notifications. And if I'm doing something wrong and I need to correct it, I'm fine to do that. I definitely take into consideration what I'm hearing people say about the show.
For the first time, and no names will be used to be in accordance with the Tampa Accord, but audience members that are not familiar with my show, that for the first time ever, there has been some type of peace agreement brokered. Is it a peace agreement on the Tampa Accord to not speak of a certain soul, or was that brokered by both parties, or just initiated by you, the sole proprietor of Who Are These Podcasts?
Yeah, so basically this is what's happening right now. There's a guy, Stuttering John went away at the end of October, and it just so happened that right around the same time, this other guy who's a comedian, he used to be on a radio show in Cleveland. Now he's down in Florida. This guy has caused a lot of problems over the years. He's made a lot of enemies. He's not a very funny comic. He's not good on the radio or a podcast. And so he started becoming a recurring character on the show. And the way this guy takes it, he gets real personal and it gets real. He made up that he got beat up by fans of Anthony Cumia's show. He makes up these crazy stories and goes online with it. So what we decided was, okay, the thing that this guy needs is attention, and he loves negative attention. Wouldn't it be great if all of the shows that talk about him just for 2 weeks didn't talk about him anymore? Just to watch him squirm and do something crazy to try to get people's attention, try to get people talking about him again. So we thought it'd be a fun little experiment. And we went on the show and got all these different shows that talk about this guy and all agreed, okay, guys, we're going 2 weeks, April 19th. There won't be a mention of this guy. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Just a fun experiment to see what happens.
Okay, so it was a meeting by all of the shows that were roasting him.
Yes.
And so that is the agreement. The Tampa Accord is between them. It has nothing really to do with him. He wasn't instrumental in this.
No, he has nothing to do with it.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I'm happy because the reason why I brought that up is because I was spending some time reviewing that, and then I abandoned that because I am part of the Tampa Accord.
So, beautiful. Okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if you were included in that or not.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I wanna be, shows like these. We tend to cooperate, and that's how life works. I mean, I bust balls on these shows all the time. And rightfully so. Everybody deserves that type because I know that the people that I'm attacking will roll with it because they give it right back,
Right.
In a fair, fun way as opposed to psychopath.
Yes, right. And my experience has been, for the most part, because our show is a roast show, not everyone takes it well, but I've never had someone who's such a sociopath respond the way that this person has responded.
Do you think there is any hope for the triumphant return of John Melendez?
Well, I happen to know some insider info on that, and he's moving out of LA. He's moving to Florida, and he's looking for jobs to be a teacher. He's been a substitute teacher, and he's really enjoying that. And he seems to be enjoying his life a lot better now that he's offline.
Oh, all right. Well, at the end of the day, I guess that's good. Pray for the children.
It is.
Pray for the children.
Well, yeah, I know. Can you imagine?
All the postings of this guy picking his nose or chewing his toenails or something like that. Oh, my God. All right.
Could you imagine that he's your teacher, and so you just, first day of school in September, you go on, you Google his name, and the rabbit hole that you would have to go down to figure out what this guy's been up to.
Oh, my God.
Insane.
Yeah. Okay, well, what show are we going to start? What do you think, 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock Eastern, that's right, buddy. And we do that live in our Discord.
Yeah.
For anyone who wants to listen along. If you want to watch it live, that goes out to our Patreon and Supercast members. And then the show gets posted on Sundays for everyone to play in their favorite podcast app.
My God. I'm very lucky to be invited. I can't wait to chat with everyone, Karl. As always, thank you for the time, okay?
You're always fantastic on the show, Eric. I always look forward to having you on.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, see you.
There you go. Karl from beautiful Rochester, New York, joining us. Karl from Who Are These Podcasts. Fantastic. Created something from nothing. I mean, I can't stress enough. It's one thing different. It's different when you're, old radio guy and you've got a group of people that have listened to you over the years and then they kind of migrate over. You inform them that you're doing it. The first time he did his show, he had 0 audience and then it went to 1 and then to 3 and then to 6. You know what I mean? That type of content creation is the hardest thing to do. And not only has he done it, he has created a stable of fans throughout the entire country and beyond. And, has live shows. He does this for a living. This is his job. I mean, I'm always very, very impressed when anyone does that. I'm impressed when someone does that on TikTok. It doesn't matter what they're doing, just the fact that they're doing it. You people, just regular people decide to do something, and people enjoy it. Very, very difficult. All right, so the Tampa Accord is in place. I am part of that. I'm looking forward to roasting free beer and hot wings on Who Are These Podcasts coming up on Saturday. Follow them on Discord, and then you can get the show live or just download it wherever you download shows, just like what Karl was saying. Okay. Hire me on Cameo, cameo.com/Eric Zane. Always a good time. I love doing Cameo bits. They're $20. And if someone's got a birthday, I really go the extra mile. My cameos are the best. It's not just 10 seconds of me saying happy birthday. I put a lot of improv into it, if you will. And I can make them as sweet or as mean as you tell me to do, because you are the boss. For $20, you get to tell me what to do. You leave your little notes in the app or online as to what you want me to say. If there's not enough room in the little field that you type it in, send me an email and we can do the rest of it that way. It's all good. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. The Kent County Health Department. Thank you to them for having me discuss their initiatives. One of the things that they want to make known is personal health services. Translation: if you need to get a test for HIV, this is what you do. I know that sounds weird, but let's be honest here. Some people, single, live a carefree life. Maybe you like having a little bit of sex here and there. And if there's some incident where protection is not used, you might be concerned about what you've been exposed to. There's nothing wrong with that, with any of the things that I've said. But if you do feel like, hey, you know what? I think I should go get tested. One of the big things that keeps people from doing that is that they're worried about, well, what if I have it? Oh, no. Well, let me just tell you, if you do, the longer you wait, the more damage it's going to do to your system. You don't want your immune system compromised, because then you get something called full-blown AIDS and you die. Nowadays, people can and do survive and live normal lives with HIV, but they got to get it checked early to determine if they have it. See what I'm saying here? Reach out to the Kent County Health Department for more information. 616-632-7200. Now, if you're monogamous, you really don't have a concern. If you're not, keep that in mind. accesskent.com/health. Nowadays, if people are detected to have HIV in their system, the medicines that they have can decrease the amount of HIV. You'll always have it to some degree. You'll be on a regimen of medicines for the remainder of your life, but you can live an absolutely normal life. I still say they never did a really good job of explaining that to the public after that was discovered. I always thought it was like Dallas Buyers Club, you know? All right, time is winding down to reach out to Troy Ginzer, the tax hobbit. 616-301-9516. So today, if you got done listening to this podcast and you called 616-301-9516, said, and Christina picks it up, you say, yeah, Eric Zane sent me. I need my taxes done. You're in business. Monday the 10th, you might get shut out. That's like the drop dead date. Now, I know the tax deadline is the 18th, but my man is packed with people looking to get their personal returns done or business returns done. So you either call today or you're kind of screwed in the butt. 616-301-9516. Anywhere in the U.S., 616-301-9516. Tag Accounting and Tax Services. Own a business? You can have Tag Accounting do your professional business taxes too. Maybe you're the old pay quarterly. Maybe you're the S-Corp type for your LLC, like your old pal EZ. I trust Tag Accounting with all of their personal and business tax services. For years now. We're going to check in with Rick in a bit from TC Paintball. We have a paintball war coming up, paintball war number 22. The Spring Fling. Reach out to me if you want to attend. tcpaintballgr.com. Okay, this is what happens to kid lovers in prison. I meant to get to this earlier, and that fell apart because I went off on a tangent. By the way, Kyle writes, well, if you have money, you get special meds. If you're poor, tough shit, go fuck yourself. Oh, wow, is that true? Aram says Free Beer and Hot Wings Reddit is going to get so butthurt. I don't know that they will. I don't regarding me roasting them. Yeah, I don't know that they will. Those people really aren't aware. I don't think they listen to Who Are These Podcasts. Unless if someone tipped them off. Wink, wink. Current Free Beer and Hot Wings. I will be pulling from shows from yesterday's show and today's show to review them. It's tough for me to review that show because I want to physically kick Greg's ass. So I can't let my personal views get in the way of the roast. It is very easy to roast that show, but because it's not good. But I can't put like personal shit in it. I don't want to seem like an idiot. All right. Kyle says he heard Michelle McCormick and Greg talking about that the other day. Rich elite get special meds. Well, then I wouldn't believe it. If they talked about it, it's probably not true. And I don't think that is true, according to my friends at the health department. So I wouldn't base your knowledge about HIV treatment on the local wacky boomer morning show. Just saying. Are you a just saying guy? A third inmate at a federal penitentiary in Milan, Michigan. That's in southern Michigan. That's what you do with southern Michigan. You build NASCAR tracks and prisons. A third inmate has pled guilty to murder of a fellow inmate. The inmate had been convicted of leading a child porno ring. We've talked about this before. That's what they do. They're the lowest of the low. They're known as tree jumpers. Ones who have sex with kids or are into child porno. Didn't Jared get the shit beat out of him one time when he was in prison? He's still in prison. The hero is Alex Castro. I just for once want it to be where you have a scenario like this where this Alex Castro murdered the pedophile. And, they like say, hey, you know what? We would cover it up, but we'd get in trouble. So you got to actually face the music. And then like the judge or the prosecutor drops the charges, says, we can't win this case. Like, even though the inmate is seen on camera slashing him and stabbing him 1 million times. The prosecutor's like, yeah, we just don't have any evidence. We don't have the right type of evidence to get a conviction. So we, one of those deals. Or if they do, and then the judge says, well, okay, yes, you're guilty. And so we're going to take time off of your first prison term. Like, that's the punishment. Less time in prison. Alex Castro is accused of repeatedly stabbing Christian Mayer in early 2019. He faces up to life in prison when sentenced July 28th. I think he deserves a medal. So this is why it's so tough in prison, because Alex Castro from Fontana, California, was already serving a 42-year sentence for a 2017 federal drug conviction. The other two inmates, Jason Dale Cachego and Adam Taylor Wright, are accused of kicking and stomping Mayer in the head before they threw him down a flight of stairs. And then Castro stabbed him 28 times. It is incredible. Milan is about 50 miles southwest of Detroit. Men are housed there while awaiting trial, sentencing of a permanent prison assignment. Cachego got 28 years. It's to run consecutively with a 10-year sentence he was serving for possession of a stolen firearm. So that fucker was in there for only 10 years, and he got 28 added on. My God, that's commitment. 42-year-old Wright was of Springfield, Illinois. He pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in February of last year. He got 24 years and 4 months for his role. The dead dude from Binghamton, New York, was sentenced in December of 2018 to 40 years in prison for exploiting kids and pleading guilty to coercing girls to engage in sex on a website. You know, I think we're all winners here. I think, yes, justice is served because we benefit. We don't have these. These psychopaths are now going to spend the rest of their lives behind bars. I think, though, they deserve a visit from normal people like us, because there are people in the world that are very happy with this. I mean, I am. But so they're probably going to get random people putting money into their commissary accounts and shit like that, maybe get a visit, maybe some free sex from someone. The guards are loving the fact they're probably going to get special services. They're probably going to be treated like kings in there. They murdered a tree jumper and added significant time to their sentences. I think this needs to be looked at as a positive. I mean, I couldn't do it. Corey asks, was Dean involved? No, Dean was not involved. Some of the things I said may be in his wheelhouse, but he's not in prison. So that doesn't make any sense. If you're going to throw out a joke, have it make sense. You know? I mean, come on. Okay, your old pal EZ needs to go potty. I'll be back. Check in with Rick, see what's going on in his world. Just a bit. Eric Zane Show Podcast T-shirts are available. What if there's a sale going on? You go to ericzaneshow.com and you click merch. Uh-oh. We got another sale. It's time to buy. Look at this. $16 a pop. Are you kidding me? For like a long time, 1 day, 17 hours, 29 minutes, 15 seconds. You can get an Eric Zane Show Podcast t-shirt for $16. Don't quote me on this, But I think if you buy a certain amount, they waive the shipping fee. I'm not positive on that. But anyway, now obviously my favorite right now is the T-shirt, the Zany Bunch, which has the pets, where two of my departed pets are there, Buddy and Daisy. Can't believe Daisy's gone. Oh my God. $16 a T-shirt. I love that you can just change the colors on them to whatever you like. It's so user-friendly, you know? So many choices. Kind of like that white. That really pops there. Male fit, female fit, you know, a little more form-fitting for the babes. And then you can click on and the software allows you to choose the type of T-shirt. Slouchy fit. I didn't know that was even a thing. Heavyweight T-shirt. That's on sale. Eco T-shirt. What the fuck? I think that's made from like pop bottles or something. Plus, I have a ton of other gear available. The sticker. The kids' T-shirt. The mug. The mask. For the next time we have a pandemic. There you go. Buy my stuff. Thank you so much. All right. EricZaneShow.com. Thank you to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Get your cars fixed there. 616-532-6600. Keep them running in tip-top shape. My advice, drive your car till the wheels fall off. 616-532-6600. Thank you to Bosco's Pub. I'll be there tonight. Come see me for dinner. Thank you to A&E Heating and Cooling. It's time to tune up the furnace. 616-516-8579. If you are in West Michigan, you need to have this done just before it's time to turn on the air conditioner. Don't turn that thing on until you get that thing tuned. 616-516-8579. Make sure it's running efficiently. It's time to reach out to Rick from TC Paintball.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice.
Got to be kidding me. Good thing I'm brilliant and I can adapt. Yesterday on the podcast, on the Patreon, was joined by Stu McAllister. Stu seemed to have the blues a little bit. Hope he pulls out of that tailspin. All right. Moving on. Sperm donor sued for increasing accidental incest risk after allegedly fathering 500 kids. I never really thought about that. That can happen if you let's say like Stu is looking for a new way to make money, and he decides he's going to donate his jizz regularly. That there can be all sorts of Stu McAllister offspring that could eventually meet up down the road, and they could have sex, causing accidental incest. Is that something? Does that mean like you can only donate sperm once? Is there a series of checks and balances? How do you think it was before they had that type of checks and balance system in place? And there had to be one person who fathered like thousands of kids. That explains some of these communities like Cedar Springs and Coopersville and Borculo, Burnips, Dorr, all of Berry County. Probably one guy caused all of that inbreeding to those bumblefuck, stupid shit communities. Jamestown Township. By the way, I had dinner last night in Jamestown Township. A wonderful place to eat called the Derby Tavern. Highly recommended. What a nice place that is. It's an oasis of awesomeness in what really is a shithole community that tries to destroy libraries, or actually did destroy libraries. The guy who owns it, I think his name is Adam. He gave $100,000 to that library that the morons have shut down, have taken the funding away from. So if you go there, that's who you're supporting. The Derby Tavern, excellent food, and great atmosphere. But I digress again. A prolific sperm donor from the Netherlands has fathered over 500 children, faces this lawsuit over this potential risk to accidental incest. If I had known that he had already fathered more than 100 children, I would never have chosen this donor, says Eva, a mom who helped launch the lawsuit, said in the press release. Well, I don't know if it's his fault. I mean, this is a civilized nation. This isn't some shithole. It's the Netherlands. And don't you want a kid who's 6'7", and blue eyes and blonde hair? She says, when I think about the consequences this could have for my child, I get a bad gut feeling, and I become uncertain about his future. How many more children will be added? In conversations with the donor, many mothers have indicated that he should stop, but nothing helps, she added. Going to court is the only way to protect my child. I don't think this guy's doing anything illegal. The Donor Kind Foundation, a Dutch organization that defends the rights of donor children, filed a lawsuit against Jonathan Jacob Meyer, a 41-year-old man claiming he lied about the number of children he had fathered through sperm donations. This is the dude. See? He's like, what? What? Me? All I did was gave some jizz. Don't blame me. Look at that dude. Look at his hair. He's like perfect. I say he's a hero. He should be honored. He faces charges of acting unlawfully after misleading the clinics about the extent of his activities and endangering the psychological well-being of his children, in addition to the increased risk of incest or inbreeding. All right, here's more about this. I don't know if I can necessarily get behind this guy until I hear the whole story. So let's start over. There are actually guidelines that limit a person to 25 offspring or 12 women to prevent incest issues. One mother claims Meyer admitted to her that he may have fathered as many as 500 kids. The dude met with the mom, who chose him as the donor. He allegedly told her he would stop at the legal limit when he reached it. She later learned he had hit that limit long before he met her. Now, in order to make a child like this, I mean, you got to talk with the donor agency and it's I'm guessing some type of in vitro procedure to actually make that happen. It's very expensive to do. It's upwards of $100,000 to do this in a lab. Do you think that there are people who just like recruit a guy to like actually have sex with her and then just say, hey, thanks, and give him like $50, get him a fucking, BK broiler and off he goes? Does that happen? I don't know anyone for sure that has done it, but there are a few people that I suspect who have just had sex with the dude in order to get pregnant, no strings attached, because they wanted to have a baby. To me, that sounds like win-win. You pick the right guy. He gets to have sex with you. And whatever. You've still created the baby and you've saved yourself $100,000. I bet that happens more than you and I know. Like if your neighbor, the lady lives there, she's 28 years old, all of a sudden she's single, all of a sudden she's preggo. Is there something illegal about that? I don't think there is, to just go and get pregnant. Corey says there's a Netflix special where a doc put his own sperm into his patients without them knowing. I remember that. It had over 2,000 kids. I think we talked about it on the show here. This dude, Meyer, may have, in fact, fathered as many as 102 kids in the Netherlands, which prompted officials to blacklist him from any further donations way back in 2017. He's now living in Kenya. He's continued to donate in other countries, including Denmark and Ukraine. I'd like to pick this dude's brain and ask him why. Why are you doing this? Are you doing it? Is it some type of kink? DonorKind brought the lawsuit against Meyer on behalf of 25 families who wish to prevent him from donating any more sperm, which he allegedly did using a variety of pseudonyms. Can you imagine if he shows up in Holland, Michigan, because of the high Dutch population and wants to continue it here? The foundation said Meyer does not want to stop his behavior and continues to meet with new parents. I guess if they get the word out about this guy, that people will realize, maybe we shouldn't do it with this guy. Wow. At the DonorKind Foundation, we think it is important that people realize that they become family in a certain way through donor conception, the organization said in its press release. This means that both parents and donors take into account the interests and rights of the donor children. So we shall see. Guy's getting sued over the amount of jizz that he's just flinging out to the world. Yeah, they need to do a documentary about that guy. He's obsessed with impregnating women. Tyler says if you're the dude in the circumstance that I described to you earlier, you better make sure you ever sign some documents saying you're off the hook for child support. Kenny says, imagine all those kids growing up potentially dating each other without realizing it. Oh, yeah. The whole idea of, like a brother and sister, I guess half brother, half sister, meeting, and then like they have sex and actually fall in love. And then like they realize it. And then oh my God, fuck, God, Jesus. Aram, who is kind of a walking, talking chronicler, if that's a word, of old school Free Beer and Hot Wings shows, says there were a few Free Beer and Hot Wings episodes back in the day about this. Eric also had this exact same conversation with Hot Wings a long time ago. Yeah. Hey, the Targaryens married each other for centuries. Uh-huh. There's your Game of Thrones reference. All right. That is strange. Accidental incest. Okay. Today in gender news. First off, remember the deal about in Tennessee, like the new laws about drag shows in front of kids, I guess. Something like Drag Time Story Hour. That's where the person in drag reads Curious George to the kids. Now, when they do that, they don't like say, All right, and then the man in the yellow hat had a big fat cock. They don't do it. They just read the book, but they're dressed up as a woman or a man or whatever. I don't know. Well, in Tennessee, they said that's grooming. You can't do that. Now, you and I both know that that's fucking nuts. That's not grooming. That's a person in drag reading to a kid. But the people in Tennessee and in a lot of parts of the United States think that that's a perversion. I do not think that. And I think that people that think that that is a perversion are dumb fucks. But the law is the law. And they made that the law. Well, now, and I meant to get to this earlier. This story is actually 4 days old now. A judge in Tennessee has blocked that. And that's got the hillbillies pissed off. They're under the impression in a lot of parts of the United States that if a boy who is attracted to little girls, part of his normal development, is in the same room as a drag queen, a man dressed up as a woman, he will then desire nothing but penis. That's the argument. And it applies to girls too. Now, that is not true. It doesn't work that way. There has never been a person who is transgender or gay who said, oh, yeah, I was, I was 100% hetero until I was in the presence of a transgender person and I was immediately stricken with gay. Doesn't work that way. You ask any gay person or transgender person, you're going to go back to years before anyone had any idea in their circle that there was anything going on. And they had that feeling. And then they'll tell you that it wasn't like a light switch. I think I'm going to be gay. Anyway, a federal judge in Memphis late last week temporarily blocked a law restricting drag performances in public from going into effect, saying it was vague and overly broad in its restriction of speech. I love that. When they go, yeah, this isn't absolutely a restriction of speech and it's too much. It's you didn't write it well. Whatever it is you wanted to do with this law, you did it so much that you're infringing on a fundamental right of people in America. So go fuck yourself. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, who should have known better, signed the bill. He should have said, yeah, this is bullshit, and my lawyers are telling me this is bullshit. Go back and write a fucking law that doesn't infringe on civil rights, you cock. That bill wants to restrict drag performances in public or in front of children, putting the state at the forefront of this Republican-led effort to limit drag in at least 15 states in recent months. At this point, the court finds that the statute is likely both vague and overly broad. U.S. District Judge Thomas Parker, an appointee of Donald Trump, said in a ruling granting a temporary restraining order. Judge said that the law had failed to justify with a compelling interest the restrictions it aimed to impose. He said the governor had said the law would protect children from being potentially exposed to sexualized entertainment, to obscenity. I got news for you. They're exposed to that all the time. Nice try. The Tennessee bill was part of an upswing in recent months in Republican efforts to regulate the conduct of our lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer sisters and brothers. And I'm telling you, this is the hardest thing to do these days, is to be part of those groups. You are public enemy number one to a good portion of this population. Open season. I just pray that things stay fair. Come on now. In more gender news, one which my opinion may surprise you. The Supreme Court has ruled West Virginia transgender athletes can compete on female sports teams. That is not fair, nor is it right. We're trying to stuff 500 pounds of shit into a 10-pound box. We're not there yet, where we have the right environment where transgender athletes can compete. We're getting there. You need more people to actually become transgender before you can actually have a division of sports where they compete against each other. But there is no fucking way that is fair, where if the girls on the track team or the swimming meet are doing their thing and you get a transgender female, born a man, and becomes a female, can compete fairly. It's just not. I've never believed that. The only exception is MMA or one-on-one sports. Even that has to be, it can't be amateur. If you have wrestling, for example, if girls are wrestling and some dude starts wrestling with the females, that's not fair. I don't know how this even works. The Supreme Court has ruled that transgender athletes in West Virginia can compete on female school sports teams. And, you're hearing, well, they got to do something. Well, no, they don't. Until you get more than 2 transgender people competing from each school. No, you just can't do it. You're just going to have to add another category to the track meet until then. When that happens, and make those stupid meets longer than ever. I would have no problem with if at the high school track meet, you had, for whatever meet they're doing, the regular school versus school dual meet, and school A champion in the male 100 meters takes on female 100 meters champ and the transgender 100 meters, and they have like a final race to win wasn't it Andy Kaufman who called it the all-gender wrestling fucking thing or whatever it was? You know, you can have like a fun race where you have the boy take on the girl, takes on transgender in a three-horse race. That's about it. Other than that, you're going to have to just find out something else to do. Sorry. That's just not going to fly. Fuck it. I do not support that. Chris says weight class sports might work, as in wrestling, boxing, MMA. Cole says, how come women that become men never join men's sports teams? Great question. Bob says it goes both ways. Would the same people they are for drag story time be okay with strippers from the local club do a story time for children? Well, that's a stupid question to even ask. Of course they wouldn't. And that's different. So you're suggesting that the strippers from the local club do a story time for children? Well, the drag performers aren't stripping. So that doesn't make any sense. That's you win dumb question of the day. If you're going to throw the both ways argument out there, you're going to have things that actually have to correspond with each other. Are you under the impression that drag performers are on stage and then they go, all right, it's time to see my cock. All right, it's time for me to suck a dick. If that's what your impression of what goes on at a drag show, what the fuck? My God. I think you need to go to a drag show is what you need to do. I think they do drag time story hour just to annoy people like Bob. Jesus. That concludes The Eric Zane Show Podcast, this day in gender. Easy gender news. Some of that may have surprised you. Ladies and gentlemen, advertise on the Eric Zane Show Podcast. Reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Eric! Hello, honey muffin. By reaching out, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I'm going to get the Queen of the Forest in here in a second to get her thoughts on when the lady from Jersey, when I charmed the pants off of her. But before I get to that, and we have Asshole of the Day. Before I get to that, thank you to Mario Flores and the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. Anywhere in the U.S., reach out to Mario if you need a mortgage. Before you start looking for the house, you got to get the mortgage. 231-332-6505. And it doesn't matter where you are in the United States, except Alaska, Hawaii, Maine, and South Carolina. In your current home, if you're putting new flooring in, no matter where you are in West Michigan or even all of Michigan, make the trip to Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet. They're on Chicago Drive in Granville, Michigan, right behind Little Caesars. Just search Johnson Carpet Discount Outlet. The lowest price for flooring in the entire state. They are the only place, the only flooring establishment that actually has a nearby warehouse where they buy bulk carpet, flooring, every type of flooring, and put it in there and just wait for it to sell. The best brands, the best styles, best selling. Bring a vehicle that can transport what you need home and have at it. Walk in, tell them, hey, the room's this big. They do some math. You save money. Mention my name, save an additional 10%. Whether you love me or hate me, say my name. You can even say, I hate Eric Zane, and you will get 10% off at Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet. Batting last in the lineup today is Jennison Pool and Spa Depot. Get a pool installed from Jennison Pool and Spa Depot. 616-457-0500. If you've always wanted a fiberglass or a vinyl-lined in-ground pool, the first step is calling this number. You can have it this summer. 616-457-0500. Nice lady by the name of Bree. We'll talk to you. Say, I want to talk to Jeremy out the door about getting a pool in my backyard. Eric Zane sent me. And that's all you got to do. You're done. 616-457-0500. It was going on with Pooh Bear. This is her last day.
Hello.
Well, we'll have to make it up. Maybe on the Patreon. At that point, she realized, I better really start to make sure that Eric stays happy in our marriage. Because he can take the most surly of people and make them moist with his charms. Yesterday's asshole of the day was Travis Tritt. I have decided that I'm removing all Anheuser-Busch products from my concert rider. That's your protest? Wow. Ooh. Oh, no. What's Bud Light going to do? Asshole. Mm-hmm. Who's your asshole of the day today? When in doubt, you can always just bust out kid lovers. The guy who got murdered if he had just not been a kid lover, A, he wouldn't have wound up in prison. B, he wouldn't have wound up dead in prison. Brought to you by TC Paintball. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for enjoying the Eric Zane Show podcast. Have a great rest of your day. Some of you, I will talk to you on Patreon, and I would love if you're here getting the free podcast and you're not on Patreon, join me today. I will discuss with you plenty of things, including a community here in West Michigan. It's one of those, this is why we don't have nice things type of thing. And I'm surrounded by these communities. These bumblefucks are set to get a manufacturing facility that will increase their property values and pay 2,500 locals a minimum of $45,000 a year, which is 5 times what they make normally. Yet these dipshits are trying to keep that from happening. I'm also going to talk to you about eating genetically manufactured meat and how I'm really looking forward to this. That may surprise you. That's coming up at the Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. But until then, have a good one, folks. Thank you, and bye-bye.
At Kroger, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we're dedicated to doing up to a 27-point inspection on our fruits and veggies, checking for things like scarring. In fact, only the best produce like zesty oranges and crisp carrots reach our shelves. Because when it comes to fresh, our higher standards mean fresher produce. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save big on your favorites with the Buy 5 or More, Save $1 each sale. Simply buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Shop the season's best values during SpringFest at Lowe's. Get a Craftsman V20 battery-powered string trimmer. Was $119, now just $99. Or get a 17-inch gas string trimmer for $139. Was $189. Craftsman has high-quality, high-performing, and reliable products for all your outdoor spring projects. Shop today, because Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid to 4/12. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.